Natasha. I'm a mentor and animation mentor. I teach class 6, which is game cinematics, and I'm here today to talk to you about animating sleepy and exhausted characters. When we think about sleepy and exhausted people, we usually think about moping around, probably being very lethargic, probably can't move their bodies very well, very heavy eyes, probably can't keep their eyes open, and typically, trying to drag themselves to do whatever they have to do and can barely. But as actors and as animators, we have to think more in depth about the emotion of being sleepy and how we act in real life. So when we're sleepy, usually as human beings, we try to overcome how sleepy we are. We try and act like we're not as tired as we are, and we're going to try and get done whatever we need to get done, even though we might be extremely tired. So a lot of the time when we're tired, it's also focused on a part of the body. Is it focused on your fingers and your back and your eyes because you've been working all day at a computer and you've been typing and hunching your back, so now your fingers are tired, your back's tired, and your eyes are tired from staring at a computer? Is it focused on your feet? Have you been running a marathon all day, so your feet are really tired, your whole lower body's probably exhausted from running a marathon, and you can probably barely move your feet at that point, and it's all focused on the feet. Do you have a headache? So it's all focused on the head. Your emotional exhaustion's coming from the head, and you are tired and sleepy because you're in pain and your head hurts and you can't move your head. Did you just do a big fight and you're emotionally or physically exhausted? Your whole body's extremely physically exhausted because you just fought a battle and can't move your body after that. And it's mostly probably focused on your feet and your arms. So we really have to think about why and how when it comes to acting tired. And then our character and how our character is going to try and hide how tired they are to not make themselves vulnerable. Once we've thought about all that, we have to think about, are they extremely tired or are they a little bit tired? If they're extremely tired, they might be so tired that they can't even open their eyes, they can barely move their body, they might even be on their deathbed. Or are they a little tired? If they're a little tired, maybe they yawn, they blink a little, they're trying to keep themselves awake, but they're not extremely tired, they're just a little tired. And so all these things really play a part into the character that you're going to be animating and the backstory and how your character is going to act through this exhaustion that you're about to animate. One common thing we think about when we're animating people who are tired is they're probably going to yawn. So if they yawn, we should think about how a yawn works. When we yawn, we typically open our mouth. We intake oxygen. We're open our mouth, intake oxygen, our tongue is down. Then as the yawn proceeds, our jaw opens wider, our eyes might get tight, we're really intaking all this oxygen, our jaw opens as far as it possibly can. Then at the end, when we're closing our mouth, we tend to do a little bit of a fake chewing motion. And this guy kind of does it where he kind of fake chews, he blinks a bit, his eyes might water, it looks like, from the yawn. And he looks like he's waking himself up after he yawned. So when we're going to animate something like this, we got to think about how it works in real life. If we were to nod off to sleep, for instance, like this guy does at the beginning, our eyes get heavy, we look down, everything gets blurry, we're not paying attention to it anymore, and then we nod off. And then possibly, like this guy does, our entire body wakes ourselves up. We feel the weight of our body waking up, and we wake ourselves up and blink a little bit. If we were in public and we're yawning like this guy who might be at, a meeting, we're going to cover our mouths. We're going to try and pretend we're not yawning. We're going to rub the water out of our eyes, rub the exhaustion off our face. He does a second yawn and he hides it again, shakes his head, trying to keep himself awake, takes a drink to wake himself up, and even tries to rub the tiredness out of his eyes. So it's good to watch human beings and tired people and see how they are moving to really get an idea of good acting when it comes to being tired and exhausted. If we were to animate someone who actually is so tired they fall asleep, there's even things to think about once they've fallen asleep. Are they, is there something keeping them awake still? Once they are asleep, did they Are they restless? Are they dreaming? Do they have a good dream? Do they have a bad dream? Are they drooling, snoring? Is it hot in the room? Is it cold? There's a lot that even goes into the acting of someone being asleep. So to help show this, I have a couple clips I found off Animation Mentor's website from student work. Here's one that's nice, and it shows a good example of how a character would act when they're emotionally exhausted from a headache.
I like to move in. I like to move in. I like to move in.
I like it quiet.
So this character is emotionally exhausted, emotionally and physically kind of exhausted from a headache. She looks slightly annoyed. It's very focused on her head. She's rubbing her head. This guy comes in and starts annoying her. She looks extremely annoyed. She looks tired and exhausted because her head hurts. So she doesn't really want to deal with the annoyance. This pose is nice because it's really showing, it's all focused in her head. All the exhaustion and sleepiness is focused in her head on how tired she is from the headache. And then she explodes to tell him to be quiet.
Kill me, and you walk in. What are you waiting for? Are you afraid, be a man?
This shot shows how tired and exhausted this guy is from a fight, but then his whole body. At the beginning, he's so tired and so exhausted, he even shakes his fist right there. Nice tremor, you know. He's so exhausted. This guy's coming at him with a sword. He can't even get up. He even looks at him and then collapses in exhaustion again and is looking at him. And even though this guy's throwing a sword at him, he's so exhausted he can't move except a little bit to avoid that sword. And he even, shakes again, which is really nice touch, this animation, on how tired this guy is. Even though he's afraid, he can't move because his whole entire body from fighting a fight is tired. And this guy even comes in for the kill, but he can't move because he is so tired. This girl here, she is in class and she looks very exhausted. Her eyes are half, one's almost fully closed, one's half closed, or even more than half closed. I would say 3/4 closed. Her whole face says, I am tired. She's even holding her head up because she is so tired. She's been staying up all night studying. It's all on her head because she is so tired from not sleeping that she has to hold up her head. And then she does a nice yawn, a little bit of a chewing motion, then just falls to pass out. But because she wants to keep herself awake, she hits herself to stay awake and becomes more alert, tries to even hold her eyes open as they droop down, and then falls asleep. It has a really nice snoring motion here. Then the teacher wakes her up. She brings herself awake, more alert, and starts studying chemistry again.
Right over there.
It looks far.
Very far.
Maybe if we concentrate really hard, our combined psychic powers will move it closer.
I don't think it's working.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'm not focusing.
This shot's a little different. This shot shows an example of being exhausted from laziness. These two characters are lazy, they're sunbathing, they don't want to get up. And so, and their whole bodies are just not moving. It's really in their whole body, really, that they don't want to move because they're actually exhausted from being lazy. And this is a kind of a nice example of showing a way to be physically exhausted in a very different way from being lazy. So that's one thing that's nice about this shot. This shot's nice because it shows a character here and he's so tired that his alarm wakes him up he bounces out of the chair, he grabs his stuff to go to work, and then he's so tired he runs into the door because he doesn't even know it's not open. Another way to show our body's responses to waking up to something all of a sudden but not being actually fully awake. Here's an example of a character who looks extremely tired throughout their whole body. Maybe they ran a marathon. It looks like it's being held at their back and their feet and mostly their lower body. They just ran a marathon and they can barely move, but then they drink some coffee and super alert and ready to go.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
This shot here shows an example of a character being extremely exhausted once again a fight. You know, he's breathing heavy, he can barely move, he wipes the sweat right off his face, looks at the character, he's ready to go. And this literally feels like a shot of a character showing them overcoming how tired they are, because he's so tired, he pushes himself off the fence, he's like, I'm gonna do this, then he hits him and he's done. And he's done. And so that's really nice, showing a way of a character just overcoming how tired he is by literally punching the opponent out, and he wins the fight.
Where am I?
The pit of despair. Don't even think.
In this shot, this guy wakes up all of a sudden, he jolts awake, which is nice, and he looks around. He grabs his head, which is really nice here because it shows that the exhaustion is coming from his head. He was probably hit in the head and knocked out by something, and that's why he's here in the pits of despair. Looks around to see what's going on. Then we have this guy who's the opposite. He's extremely tired, so tired that he is gone. So two different kind of has the mild, I'm a little tired, and I'm extremely tired here.
Did you know you talk in your sleep? Tell me though, who's Penelope?
She's my wife.
This shot here is nice because this guy shows him awake. He's holding his neck. His exhaustion is coming from his neck. He probably didn't sleep very well. He's exhausted. His neck hurts. His eyes are barely opening. He's trying to wake up. It looks like maybe she's waking him up by talking to him. Then he scratches his face and is like trying to scratch the exhaustion off his face to be able to talk to her. Well, this character is very, very alert and awake. So there's lots of different ways you can animate sleeping and waking up from something and being alert, and you can get really creative with it and have some fun animating a cool shot. If you want to learn more about this, you can take class 4, 5, and 6 on the feature side, Introduction to Acting, Advanced Acting, and Polishing and Portfolio. Thanks for watching.